Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Catalina Gillies. The Martin Falls First Nation has declared a state of emergency after their recently upgraded water treatment plant had to be shut down. The 388 residents have been without water for 2 days now, and Chief Bruce Ashney-Penescum says people have also been left without working sewage systems.
Our people are suffering in the community, so we don't know who to turn to, but the governments of the day, and it seems like they're failing our people.
According to the chief, the shutdown of the water treatment plant was due to the technical failure of the system and lack of operational guidelines and procedures. A $10 million upgrade of the water plant was scheduled for completion earlier this year, with a long-term boil watery advisory expected to be lifted. The shutdown also affects services like nursing, police services, and education. Ashney-Penescum says certain things need to happen to fix this immediately.
Immediate action, technical help, and a plan of action. Also, Ontario Emergency Agency has to get involved and contact us immediately, dealing with the situation on how we can resolve this ongoing issue.
The chief adds that if the problem isn't resolved in the next day or so, he will be calling for an evacuation of the community. In just 1 week, Ontario residents will need to provide proof of vaccination to enter non-essential businesses like restaurants, gyms, and movie theaters. But members of the local business community worry they're being left to enforce the new provincial rules on their own, and they fear that unruly customers may put the safety of their staff at risk. Ryan Benazzo has that story.
Given Thunder Bay's high vaccination rate and her clientele's dedication to health and wellness, Push Fitness Center owner Jen Bisignano didn't think she'd have to worry about vaccine passport non-compliance. But even before the provincial mandate takes effect, that notion has been shaken.
I have had far more people displeased with the mandate.
She says she's already been forced to deal with a number of unruly customers who've directed their anger over the pending provincial rules squarely at her and her staff.
They just feel put out by the fact that I'm not going to be letting them through the doors. Despite the government's insistence not to take it out on the businesses, it's really hard to not take it out on the person that's in front of your face that's representing the establishment that you're not being allowed to enter.
Rooster's Bistro owner Jim Camusi says he needs answers from the province on the dispute resolution process.
What is our authority if somebody doesn't want a mask or doesn't have 2 vaccines? Those are the questions that we just need to get, hopefully in this next week, a little bit more clarification on.
Health Minister Christine Elliott says police should be notified if customers refuse to comply.
We want them to call 911.
But critics of the provincial plan say that's absurd.
First of all, our police have other issues that are much more pressing than this. And it's not like the police are going to be there in a timely fashion.
Robinson also says the province should have waited for the QR code system, which won't be ready until late October, rather than rely on paper certificates for the first month. That leaves businesses to ensure the documents are legit. Instead, entrepreneurs like Camusi are left to bank on their faith in this city and its residents to respect one another.
Thank God this is Thunder Bay, and thank God that we have always been Thunder Bay strong.
Ryan Benazzo, TBT News.
Meanwhile, there are similar concerns across the province. Colin DeMello has more.
In 1 week from today, if you ask Douglas for his vaccine passport, he'll show you this.
There we are. There's the 2 of them. I've got both my vaccines, and I've got copies. I've got copies of them on my phone for my vaccines, so yeah, I'm ready.
But he is one of the few people with his passport at the ready. Most have no idea what's coming. Do you have everything you need?
I do not have it yet.
Do you know where to get it? Do you know
No, I do not actually.
I have a confirmation, like an email confirmation that I got my 2nd dose, and that's really all I have, but I'm not really sure what's going to be needed.
The lack of preparation is also being felt by businesses on the front lines who are voicing concerns about how the passport system will work.
This is an issue that came up with one of my clients yesterday that, are the employees going to have to sort of act as security at the door, which is not something that they've signed up for.
Proof of vaccination will soon be mandatory inside a number of non-essential settings. But the government offered up several exemptions.
There is, some confusion because, if somebody's coming in just to make a retail purchase or to use a bathroom or as a spectator, there isn't any sort of guidance in terms of how to handle that. In terms of the documents themselves, what if somebody doesn't have a copy of their passport or citizenship ID or driver's license?
The deputy premier said yesterday if those encounters escalate, a business owner can call police.
If at any point they feel threatened, we want them to call 911 as soon as possible.
That led to a tweet from Toronto Police clarifying that 911 calls are for emergencies only and if there is an immediate danger or threat to safety. Critics say cities will need resources to make it work.
Some financial help to increase their number of bylaw officers, for example. There are things that the government could have and should have been doing.
Ultimately, though, infectious disease specialists believe the passports will work, but caution they won't be a panacea.
This is not going to take us out of a fourth wave. This is not going to be the one policy that saves the day. This just helps create safer indoor spaces. That's what it does.
And it could help those businesses remain open, they say, during a sudden surge of COVID-19.
The city of Thunder Bay will be adopting the latest federal holiday recognizing truth and reconciliation. Most city facilities will be closed on September 30th, but essential services like EMS and seniors' homes will operate close to normal. Meanwhile, the business community is conflicted, wanting to respect the day but not lose business for a holiday they aren't mandated to close for. Corey Nordstrom reports.
About half of the city of Thunder Bay's employees will be off work September 30th, recognizing the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
Certainly have encouraged all of our employees to take time to pause and reflect and think about how we all as individuals can contribute to reconciliation.
The new statutory holiday will be handled similarly to Remembrance Day by the city, even though it's not recognized as a paid holiday by the province, which regulates municipalities. Ortgeese explains why those aside from long-term care staff and other essential personnel will be off duty for the holiday.
Some employee groups at the City of Thunder Bay will be observing the holiday on September 30th. This is because language in their respective collective agreements or bylaw that adopt any additional holiday that's proclaimed by either federal or provincial government.
Transit will be among the services impacted, with a reduced holiday schedule in place. A number of city operations will also be closed the last Thursday of the month.
Our recreation facilities, Canada Games Complex, our arenas will be closed during the day and open in the evening, which is similar to other operating hours during public holidays.
Most businesses fall under provincial regulation. Chamber President Charla Robinson says many local store owners were unaware that the choice was theirs to open on September 30th, leaving them torn between their options.
Do I stay open? Do I not stay open? Do I reduce my hours? Like, how do I do that, to not impact my business negatively, but also to show that I am, very considerate of this special day that has now been set up for the nation to commemorate these challenges.
Robinson says the majority of businesses have no plan for the new holiday at this point. Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
Election Day is now just 5 days away. In order to help you decide where to place your support on election night, stay tuned right after the news hour this evening on CKPR Thunder Bay for Issues and Answers, the candidates debate for Thunder Bay Superior North. TBT News lead anchor Ryan Benazzo moderates the debate between Liberal incumbent Patty Hajdu, NDP candidate Chantel Bryson, Conservative Joshua Taylor, and Green Party candidate Amanda Madajung. You'll see the four hopefuls square off on a number of issues, including this fiery exchange over vaccine mandates.
I think people deserve safe workplaces. the NDP candidate is, siding with anti-vaxxers, siding
That's
with people that are
nonsense, Patty, suggesting I side with
anti-vaxxers. That are
I didn't
actually
say
making it
that,
difficult
and you
for
know
our
it's not
healthcare workers
true,
to do their jobs.
And you're launching
Yesterday
personal attacks because that's what the Liberal Party
Yesterday we
does, and
saw-
that's what your leader does, and you should be ashamed of yourself for that.
Once again, the Thunder Bay Superior North debate airs this evening right after the news hour on CKPR Thunder Bay. The Thunder Bay Rainy River debate will be shown tomorrow evening. Audiences can expect some familiar local faces hitting the stage this week in Magnus Theater's inaugural production of their main stage season. It's called Home, a Bluegrass Celebration, and Mingo Ringos has the sneak peek.
Those were the beautiful sounds of a Bluegrass Celebration, rehearsing for their opening performance on Thursday evening. The musical portrays the isolation over the past 18 months, focusing on 3 women on 3 different stages of their lives, thinking and talking about what they have been through. The play includes some of Thunder Bay's finest musicians, including the 3 main actors who will also be playing instruments. Artistic director of Magnus Theater, Tom Curry, says it's pretty much an 8-piece bluegrass band. And due to the pandemic, the cast is 100% local.
They were using a lot of Northwestern Ontario talent, and over the years you kind of branch out. We're a national regional theatre, so we do draw talent from across the continent, but we've always maintained at least 25 to 50% fully local people. This has been thrilling to really be able to dip our toes into this is 100% local. We have to keep this as contained as possible.
Joanne Waitowich, commonly known for her role of Ivanka, will not be dressing up for this show, this time taking part as one of the singers and also being the playwright for a Bluegrass Celebration. Waitowich says throughout the pandemic she was feeling isolation, loneliness, and at times despair until she got the idea for this. And once she got an idea, she says there's no possible way to stop her from bringing it to life. Waitowich talked about why this combination of styles will be so intriguing.
And so if I was feeling, a little down, I would put on this music and I would be soaring. And I thought, what a juxtaposition this is, to talk about COVID with this kind of joyous music. Those 2 things living together shouldn't, but we're making it happen.
Magnus Theatre will be running at half capacity for this entire main stage season, which will leave 132 seats available each night for the public to come see live theater once again. A Bluegrass Celebration runs until October 2nd. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
2 Thunder Bay women have hit the jackpot in a pair of nationwide fundraisers. One of them took home close to $1 million, while the other local winner's prize totaled more than $2.4 million. 68-year-old Darlene McEachran won the Sick Kids Hospital Foundation's Catch the Ace fundraiser this week. She first won the $68,000 weekly prize and then the $2.3 million progressive jackpot. Meanwhile, Kim Saunders won the Heart and Stroke Foundation's most recent 50-50 lottery. She actually won earlier this summer, but the big win wasn't announced on YouTube until yesterday. Saunders won over $900,000, and after taking some time to reflect on it all, she says she's still in shock.
It was surreal. Like, you can't believe that it's actually happening. Yes, it's like an out-of-body experience. Yes, and I was home by myself, so yeah.
Saunders has been buying Heart and Stroke lottery tickets since 2007 and says she will happily continue supporting the foundation.
One of these days I'm going to start buying these lottery tickets, and especially for a great cause like the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Weather today, Fiona, a lot nicer out there today than what we've had